Let's talk about the latest drama. Jimmy Butler, and this story broke in show yesterday. Jimmy Butler and Shams Charania, who works for Stadium now, recently tweeted out that there was a players-only meeting led by Jimmy Butler, and he committed to wanting to compete with the current group of Timberwolves. Other players spoke up, and that appears to be the way in which the Timberwolves are leaning, that he's going to play with these guys. You go back and he had an interview yesterday, just so happened to have an interview set up with Rachel Nichols right after the practice in which he led the Scrubs to a victory in a scrimmage. Here was Jimmy Butler sitting down with Rachel Nichols.
That's raw me at my finest, me at my purest. That's what you're going to get inside the lines.
Is it fixable?
It could be. But do I think so? No. Because you got to be honest. I'm being honest. Do I think so? No. I'm being honest with you. Mm-hmm. But is everybody going to be honest? No. No, everybody's not going to be honest. Like if you go and say, which one of y'all told what Jimmy said today in practice? Everybody, no, I don't know. You ain't be honest. I don't care. There ain't nothing we can do about it now, but be honest.
So Jimmy Butler hurt by the dishonesty within the locker room, the leaks in the locker room. It is ironic. It is ironic that Jimmy Butler wants honesty, and yet he just so happens to have an interview with Rachel Nichols set up when this incident just so happens to have happened, right? But among the things that people don't react well to, remember we talked about Odell Beckham Jr. essentially calling out his team as having no heart, and he said that he felt like he was being schemed out, so he's talking about the coaching staff, and he said we got to play with great effort, meaning he's saying guys don't play hard. That attacks coaching. Coaches have to get their guys to play as hard as possible. Calling somebody a liar is not a way to endear yourself as a leader. I understand what Jimmy Butler is trying to execute a hostile takeover of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hey, look, I'll stay here, I'll play here, but we're going to do it my way, and I'm going to be the leader. And some of this goes back to articles written when he was in Chicago. We all have egos, right? There isn't a human being that's successful that doesn't have an ego. Jimmy Butler he's more like a baseball player, more like a tennis player than he is like a basketball player. I understand he has a sizable ego and that he feels like his competitive spirit is greater than some of the other younger players on the team, like a Karl Anthony Towns. I get that. But in addition to not understanding his own place within the lineage of star players in the NBA, I'm not sure he understands other people's egos. When he says, I'm being honest, and the way in which he says it, he's calling out the lack of honesty of others. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind he believes Karl Anthony Towns is the one who runs to the media because Karl Anthony Towns is a media darling, and Karl Anthony Towns, when he gets done playing, couldn't be in the media. Nobody likes being called a liar. Ever watched a Western? What gets the guys to stand up and go out and have a draw? You calling me a liar? Right? It's not just his ego. We all have them. And you're not going to be homeless growing up to becoming a star in college and then a second-round pick and a all-NBA guy and all-star in the pros unless you believe in yourself. But believing in yourself to the detriment of others, when your ego not only outsizes your talent, but questions the ego, confidence, and legitimacy of others, you run the risk of alienating yourself. And you may end up leading this ship. But if two teams are tired of the way in which you want hostile takeovers to take place, it becomes really hard to find a third team that's going to buy in and go all in.